What's going on there, folks? Good evening. It's the Earthmaster here on this Saturday night, January 14th, 2023. It's about 9:17 p.m. here, California time, where we're starting to dry out a little bit from the rainfall, getting quite a bit of localized flooding out here where I live, though. 1.7 earthquake up into the region of Alaska, the latest earthquake up here on the globe. Taking a look here at the USGS map. Showing some activity also into the Izu Trench. Seen a 5.2 coming in here. 396 kilometers deep. Now, we did have some activity within this region. Well, is the USGS getting rid of some of these earthquakes? There we go. Maybe it shows up on the... Okay, here we go. There was a deeper earthquake here north of this region, a 4.2, 364 kilometers deep. That one coming in yesterday. Now, on the EMSC globe, looks like maybe that earthquake is still there. It's being reported by the GeoNet servers. It's going to be this earthquake right here. Not the 5.2 there, but the other 5.2 that's kind of at the surface here, this red ring indicating that shallow earthquake. Now, last night we checked this out, and it was reported by the GeoNet 5.3 earthquake, and nobody's picked back up on it yet. The USGS nor the EMSC. So uncertain on if this is actually a legit earthquake in that region or not. Either way, we have seen some deeper movement quakes here way down there into the Izu Trench. Also some activity here kicking up down into the Mariana Islands, somewhat deep as well, or a Mariana Trench region. Some further deep activity westward here around Taiwan. So a whole bunch of deep earthquake movement activity here around the Philippine plate with only not even a whole lot of adjustment upstream. So we'll watch this area specifically for some possible larger scale activity up towards the subduction levels, towards the surface. Getting a little swarm of activity here around the Port Vila, Vanuatu area. Seen a couple earthquakes today, 5.0 and a couple other 4s in the mix here. Some of them shallow, some of them deep. The last one there, 151 kilometers deep. Underneath Port Vila, 4.8. Not a whole lot popping off over here into the Tonga Trench or the Kermadec Trench. Quick glance here at the globe. Well, looks like a lot of activity. I see quite a few 4s and some 3s out here. Some deeper movement quakes along the Kermadec Trench. It's going to be this area down here. But not a zip zero showing up here across the area of the Kermadec Trench. So let me check out the GeoNet servers while we're on it real quick, see what we may have going on down there. I don't know why the USGS doesn't pick up on some of those earthquakes. It is a weekend, so, I don't know. I can't say. I'm not there in their office working. But the GeoNet servers, looks like some of these guys reporting some 2s within the last hour. There was a 2.1 deleted. 4.1, North Island, New Zealand. That's going to be one of these earthquakes here into the Kermadec Trench, 193 kilometers deep. Quality best. Let's see here. Now, uncertain on if this has been reviewed or not by a seismologist. I don't want to go over all this, but either way, the GeoNet server is showing some activity out here along the New Zealand region today. And looking at the volcanic drums here across New Zealand, there is, that's got to be that 4-pointer here popping up on some of these graphs. Nothing major going on, a little bit of activity across the area today. Let's see what else we got here. Further westward into the Indonesia region, only showing 3 earthquakes, 4.8 looks to be the largest here today. Now the globe here looks like still showing some activity scattered out around the Philippines and all the way over through the Banda Sea area. All showing still a pretty good uptick in movement today. It looks like there's that seismic gap here. Look at that. Nothing showing up across the Himalayas or other areas around this plate boundary. Northern end of the Java Trench seems to be where it's stuck. And I use that term stuck because, well, we normally look for that westward pressure movement, kind of see a little train of activity stretching across this area. and we followed it many times here. You'll see this activity kick up south here, and then just work its way around the plate boundary. But it appears as though this area is definitely our seismic gap zone currently. There has been some activity, but not much in that region. It looks like there was a 4.6 northern, it says northwest. It's going to be Myanmar area, but it says northwest India. But notice that still a lot of activity here that's missing. We've seen a whole bunch of deeper movement quakes back building here in Fiji, Vanuatu area, of course, down here into the Banda Sea region got hit recently. Whole lot of activity trying to work its way westward here, but not doing so. That's a little concerning here with this area. They can see some large quakes for sure, so we'll continue to monitor that activity or lack of activity currently. Mongolia, Russia-Mongolia border, that was from last night, a 4.5 coming in. Westward, further westward, Turkey and the Mediterranean Sea, the latest quake of 4.7 there, it looks like in Turkey, at about 10 kilometers deep. And that's about all that's showing up here across the Mediterranean region. Some other smaller twos there, it looks like, potentially into, let's see exactly where that's at. Here's that 4.7. Looks like up here, well, let's go ahead and look here. I'm just kind of curious to see where all this activity is. 3-pointer, 2.6. There we go. Okay. Looks like near the coast of western Turkey. Being reported by the EMSC folks there. Atlantic Ocean, not a whole lot going on here. And let me verify it, see what we got. Nothing. Zip zero. But man, is that a deep earthquake over here? Izu Trench. That is, man, goodness. Got to watch that area pretty closely. All right. Let's take a look at the states here, see what we got going on. Not a whole lot in Northern California at all showing up. Pacific Northwest up here into Washington. A couple small earthquakes. It looks like the largest, a 2.4. South of the Mount St. Helens region. Now, let's check out the tremor tonight on the PNSN network. 21 epicenters of tremor, Northern California. Looks like that activity up here around Vancouver Island ranges have come to a halt for now. Let's go over here to the volcanic areas, Mount St. Helens, and see if we can spot that 2.6 that came in earlier. I don't know exactly what time that was, or 2.4, excuse me. That was just earlier. Yeah, just earlier this evening. There we go. Showing up pretty nicely there. Not local. I mean, it's about 20 miles from the station, or 20 kilometers from this seismograph station, but showed up rather nicely. Prior image, not found. Not found. Not there we go. That one. I want to show that one. Why not the 13th? Either way, not a whole lot of activity happening up there. Otherwise, that would definitely be showing up across the seismos, and they're not. Calpine hydrothermal operations ongoing full swing, it looks like, with some earthquakes. And again, Northern California, really quiet. Most of the activity has been down south today, and we've only had, well, one earthquake out here off the coast of Los Angeles, 2.5. Aside from that, all these other quakes here that you see up on the map, all microquakes. So not a whole lot of activity currently happening there in California. Drying out a little bit. But man, have we gotten a lot of rain, let me tell you. Some movement out into western Texas as well. Oklahoma seeing some movement. Nothing major going on across the eastern portion of the country. Of course, these earthquakes here late last night in the state of Maine. A couple 2s and 3 popping off. Nothing else showing up so far. Into the Alaska region. A little spotty up here, it looks like. Not a whole lot of movement. 2.5 map and above. Doesn't show much. One earthquake early around noontime way out here along the Aleutian Trench, 3.1. Mostly microquake there. Activity across the region. Big Island, Hawaii. Haven't really seen any noticeable activity as far as any changes go. Things are still continuing there with Kilauea Volcano. And let's see what Yellowstone's doing. Not a whole lot either. Yellowstone's just been awfully quiet here. No swarms. Nothing going on at all. All right, space weather activity. Seen quite a few M flares, some strong M flares popping off. And it looks as though we're just coming down from another one. Excuse me. Here on the northeastern limb, this active region looks very impressive right now. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, that one's definitely looking fairly impressive. There's a bunch of sunspots that are coming around the bend that I think we need to keep our eye on. Some of these look really impressive, and they're growing drastically. 3190, 3191, 3192 all harbor a good threat there for some flaring as they rotate into view. But can't discredit right now 3186. That is a sunspot that's currently facing us. These others will come into view here soon. But these are lighting up like crazy. Almost consistent flaring from a couple of sunspots. The SFI currently 228, which is really elevated. Notice that is in the red. I'm not going to go through all of that. Flux data. Is that one working? Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, the flux data has been increasing there. Okay. So it looks like right now they've raised the threat level still, the X-flare potential at 15%, proton event 25%, M-flare at 55, and it looks like 99% certainty for C-flare. We are still kind of currently experiencing a somewhat of a long duration M-flare here. Had one earlier today as well. Yeah, this is getting very, very active. I know we've seen, we've seen some strong flares in the past, past year or so too. Our last one so far this year was a 1.9 on the 9th of January. Also had a 1.2, it looks like, on the 6th of January, 2023. So it looks like maybe was there two of them, three of them? Did I miss that one? X 1.2. Either way, if you want to look at the strongest one so far of this solar cycle, it was only a X 2.2 back on 4/20, 2022. And these X flares can get much stronger. So I think we're going to see one here pretty soon. Just looking at these sunspots. They are massive, numerous, and very unstable out here. A whole lot going on, folks. Get ready for a little show, I'm sure. Hopefully these don't die off. Visible disk here. Yeah, there's definitely there's some active regions for sure. We'll continue to watch and monitor as those progress along the way. We did kick up G1 solar conditions here, G1 storming, and it looks like that is still currently in the forecast with a good 80-90% chance of auroras up there in Canada. If you were up there, get out there. It looks like it's fairly promising right now. Let's see here. Or at least it was. This looks like the most recent one. Looks like things have kind of mellowed out. Well, hold on a second here. Let's see. Forecast lead time about 55. Is that right? This looks a little off. Although the current 30-minute aurora forecast lead time 50 minutes, shows active. I'm not up there, so I don't know for certain, but things look like they're kicking up here around the Cape Index of 5, and some elevated conditions there with the flare, with the BZ component and density, as well as speed. We haven't really seen any major Earth-directed CMEs, but that's always a possibility with these large solar sunspot regions facing the planet here. All it takes is a major powerful X flare and a super large CME Earth directed, and we could have a little bit of fun here. We'll see how that plays out. Alrighty, let's see what else is going on here real quick. We'll give a quick glance here at the weather again. Things are kind of dying off currently, and that's good, I think. I think we need just a little break for some of these flood waters to soak into the ground. Like I say, out here where I live, there's a lot of localized flooding going on. Sacramento River is very close to flood stage, and everything's all the fields out here are kind of flooded, and that's not normal. We flood them in the summertime, spring and summertime for rice and whatnot, but in the wintertime, it's a little odd seeing all those fields flooded like that, and they're over flooding going out onto some of these roads here. I had to take a whole bunch of different roads to get back home here from Chico today, so a little crazy. All right, so current conditions here, it looks like a little bit of scattered showers overnight. Another storm popping up here tomorrow, it looks like, but very light. Most of the activity is going to be heading down south into Southern California, giving them another shot of rain. And this is on Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. This here is kind of new. Looks like maybe Wednesday into Thursday we got another system coming in, a colder one. Notice a lot more snow. And then after that, things kind of switch up a little bit and come down. You keep getting this model here that's in agreement that it's going to bring some much colder air here to Northern California. And snow down into Arizona and New Mexico. Let's see here. Yeah, then that continues for a little while. But these colder systems that drop down are not loaded with moisture. Just cold air, limited moisture. So we may not see much at all here in Northern California for precipitation. But here we go. Back around the 29th time period. Even though we got that system kind of dropping off to the north, dropping off from the north, looks like it's able to pull up some moisture from the south. And bring that right back into Northern California with some impressive rainfall rates again. So gonna watch it. Looks like it hovers there for a little bit, right? Look at it. Drops down, a little cutoff low from the north, sits there, brings in moisture off the Pacific, and just soaks us. Goodness, could be a I don't want to say record year for rainfall. But it's much needed. It's needed to put it into this drought, and I think everything will be thriving, hopefully, as long as we don't get all these orchards flooded. I mean, I don't know what it does. It could potentially cause root rot down there because they're soaked. I don't think they're supposed to be soaked like that. Some of these walnut orchards, almond orchards out here, I know there's a time to flood them and water them, but they're not supposed to be under feet of water throughout the wintertime, I don't think. I don't know if it hurts them. I'm not a farmer, so I don't really know too much about it. All I know is they're all flooded, and that's the picture around here right now. But either way, it looks like, until this date, until about the 28th, maybe around the 27th, 28th of this month, we got a few days to dry out, and then it looks like some further precipitation coming in there to the west coast. So we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, have a good day, good night. Tomorrow is the drawing. Don't forget, tomorrow's our member drawing. And we got our fishbowl ready. And we're going to go through the members one more time, make sure we got everyone in there and accounted for. And, of course, any new members that join here on the channel tonight and tomorrow, we'll throw you guys into the fishbowl as well to win some prizes. Yeah. Pretty cool. I always like doing that. I always do. I always like doing these little live events here and picking out a winner. So, all right, guys. Have a good night. Stay safe. Solar weather activity ramping up like crazy. And, yeah, just have a good one. We'll catch you guys a little bit later on. Stay safe, everyone.